You're listening to After the Review with Peter and Terrell. New episodes of our podcast are available every Tuesday afternoon on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. If you like our content, remember to comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the episode. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After the Review with Peter and Terrell. I'm your host, Peter, and with me, as always, is my man, Terrell. What's up, Terrell?
What up, Pete? How was your weekend? Let's get there, because I'm sure you had a wonderful weekend. You thought, the weekend was going to go another way, and luckily for you, it went the right way. 2020, new year, new decade rolled in this past week, and things started off on a great note. How do you like that? You like that? I like that. My boy Kirk Cousins, bringing it home into the Voodoo Dome, took down that bum-ass old Drew Brees and that cheating scumbag Sean Payton, and my Vikings are moving on to the wild card or the divisional round against the Niners. What did you think? You watched the game. Let's get an unbiased opinion, because you know what I'm gonna say. I thought it was a very good game. Both sides played really good football. No, the Vikings. But in all honesty, the Vikings. And honestly, I was rooting for them, but they didn't surprise me as much as I think they caught most people by surprise. Is that they're a pretty good football team and they are kind of clicking on all cylinders. And when Dalvin Cook's healthy and they're running the ball, like they're pretty feisty and can get after it. So, but also the Saints, like they did Saints things. What was really suspect to me was their offense really could never get going in a weird way. I don't know what the problem was, and Breeze had a couple turnovers, which really hurt him and everything. But they probably they brought the whole Taysom Hill thing out, which was really working for them and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, great game. You mentioned earlier, maybe Sean Payton might be an overrated coach. Maybe he is. I want to talk about this for a minute. If we take away the Super Bowl win,
which they cheated.
Anyways, whatever.
Bountygate. Brett Favre remembers.
I still heard. And we take that away. What is Sean Payton and Drew Brees?
I mean,
what's the legacy we have?
I mean, if you take that away, he's worse than Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers. He had more losing seasons with Drew Brees. He wasted the prime of Drew Brees. They had 4 straight losing seasons, I believe. They have won 2 playoff games since winning that Super Bowl. They won 2. They were both wild card rounds. They haven't gotten past the divisional round, and that's what they are. They're just people talk about McCarthy wasting Aaron Rodgers, and you talk about Jason Garrett wasting Tony Romo and Des Bryant. It's like, what has Sean Payton done with Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback, #1 on every passing record he's going to be? A lot of nothing.
It's very underwhelming, and like it kind of gets blinded by how good they are in the regular season and all these stats Drew Brees has and all that stuff. So, but they do have that one Super Bowl win, and I think. Oh no, they'll claim. I forgot. They'll claim the NFC Championship game last year. They'll claim they should have had a second. With PI. But are they wrong though?
Are they going to win? I don't know.
We don't know if they're going to win. Should they have been?
Did they win?
Did they have been a Super Bowl last year? Probably.
I don't know, maybe, but they also got the ball first in overtime, like the Vikings. Yeah, walked down the field, scored a touchdown in the game.
You're not wrong. So, but it's just kind of upsetting to see that maybe we don't think Drew Brees and Sean Payton as good as they really are, or they're not as good as they come off to be. And Drew Brees is only 8-8 in playoffs. Surprisingly,
it's not.
You would think he'd be much better. It comes off maybe because he's a good guy and all this other stuff. So, but going back to that game, excellent game. I think it was probably, I don't know if it's the most exciting game I watched this weekend, because that Bills and Texans one was crazy too.
Wild card, it was a better played game, I would say that. The Bills and Texans game was crazy, was not very well. There was a lot of suspect going on there.
Yes, 100%. I would agree with you there.
So, but I'll give Zim all the credit in the world. He had a great defensive game plan to stop Drew Brees and Sean Payton, and he does a pretty good job with it. I was looking. Drew Brees' 2 worst career playoff games are against the Vikings, statistically speaking. Horrible against us in 2017 and this year, obviously. They played really tight man coverage. They didn't let it sit in that soft zone except at the end of the game, kind of.
Oh, my gosh. That soft zone at the end of the game was ridiculous.
He was kind of, I don't know what he was doing there. He was saying,
the Bills did the same thing.
Yeah, but he was kind of saying, I'm not going to give up the touchdown I'm gonna, if you make the field goal, get in the field goal range. And then the Saints clock management is horrible. I just love it. Sean Payton always has that smug little smirk on his face, like he's smarter than other people. It's kind of like that Tom Herman thing, and he got totally out game plan, got totally out coached. Why isn't Taysom Hill in the game nonstop at quarterback? Like, Minnesota couldn't stop Taysom Hill. That was their offense. He was throwing the ball, he was running the ball. We couldn't freaking tackle him. Like, Drew Brees isn't doing anything. Put Taysom Hill in at quarterback and run that little option stuff and, do something. You're supposed to be this offensive genius juggernaut, and you did absolutely nothing. And, the Vikings tried really hard to kind of lose that game with some of that suspect play calling. We ran toss to the left like 4 times, and it lost like 4 yards every time. Dalvin.
Oh my God, that play was. I was like, why does he keep running? And he ran it down the goal line. I was like, what? I
know. Don't. And our bread and butter was running that play to the right on the wide side of the field. He's running to the short side with fast guys flying. Like, I guess he was afraid
of. That play was working regardless against the Saints. To be honest.
I mean, if you run it to the wide side, you at least have Dalvin Cook in space, running full speed, and he can pick the hole. Like, if they beat him to the edge, he can cut up. It just kind of like.
You have Thielen and Diggs and Dalvin Cook's great, but like spread it out. And I'm not, Rudolph,
we were gashing him.
I mean, because he went down there one time, tried to run it, didn't work. So,
but we also tried to pass it. We ran a little bad play action too.
I know, but he took 2 of his so he has offense full of stars. He took 2 of them off the field to get the jumbo package and try to.
I did hate that. Especially at the end of the game after we got the Brees fumble that we had a chance to seal the game and we were in jumble. I was freaking out. I was like, what are we doing? Run out of the shotgun. Just run out of the shotgun. Spread them out.
I like running out of shotgun too because then you can play more of a numbers games. When you get in the jumbo package, yes, I'm sure there's percentage telling you that they score touchdowns more than they're not. But guys are just selling out and they don't care.
We were losing yards regardless. It didn't even matter. It's like we were losing yards. It's not like we were getting a big ass push up the front, in this jumbo package, and it was kind of just like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We were losing yards every time. Shotgun, you're going to lose the same amount of yards. I don't know. And then we were aggressive enough though. We threw the ball on 3rd down, and then the Dalvin Cook play kind of set everything back. But the defense came up big. You held the Saints to 10 points in each half, and then Kirk get the monkey off his back with those throws he made. That throw to Thielen was unreal in overtime to put him at the 2.
Big time throw by Kirk, big time catch by Thielen, especially since having that fumble early in the game, which to be honest, I totally missed. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, it was like the first drive of the game. It was like right away. But fun fact, last 3 teams that have fumbled on their first drive to start the playoffs have won the Super Bowl. So
is that the recipe?
Good omen. Fumble on the first drive of the season.
That sounds like a heart attack. To be at the beginning of the game, you're like, hell.
That's exactly how it was. I was like, and me and my dad were like, oh, God, it's going to be this game.
Hats off to the Vikings going to San Francisco. I will say this. I know you'd love the Vikings to win next week.
We're close.
I would love the Vikings to win next week and the Seahawks to win so I can work next week. Also, we get to work in the NFC Championship. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Didn't really think it would happen. No offense. I mean, the odds are probably still kind of small. But hey,
it's there.
It's
in play.
It's in play now.
We're in play.
It's not crazy to think about. You know what I mean?
It's in play.
It's in play. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something happened freaky in San Francisco.
Hopefully. I don't know about that freaky. We did beat them last year, week 1. All right, let's talk about the first game though. The weekend started off with the Texans-Bills, and the Bills jumped out to that 16-0 lead. And then in Bills fashion, they kind of blew it away, kind of how we thought it would with Deshaun Watson. The end of this game was ridiculous. It was maybe the worst coaching I've ever seen in my life from the Bills and the Texans all at once. What were the Bills doing? They had 1st and 10 at the 20, and they managed to turn the ball over on downs at their own 40 or whatever. Something
taking
insane.
Bad sacks, flags,
questionable intentional grounding call. I'm gonna say that.
It was tipped. He said it was tipped, and it was tipped.
Yeah, and not only that, the running back was kind of there. I've seen Tom Brady get away with a lot worse. So has Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. Say, there's a guy within 15 yards of this ball.
Well, there's another penalty. Oh, it was because he illegally caught it, but
yeah, he tipped it. Yeah,
but he tipped it though. So I mean,
you can't touch it. You can't touch it. He's a lineman.
Even if it's tipped. Even if it's tipped,
they said it wasn't tipped.
It was tipped. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I know we don't want to go to replay for everything, but there should be someone this is okay. I'm gonna sidetrack for a little bit, but there should be someone who watches every game from wherever.
I think you can review a tip. I think you can do that. I think you can review a tip on like a pass interference. Like if they call pass interference and the ball's tipped to the line because it's not pass interference then.
But that's because you're challenging pass interference. But I think
it was before that though. It was before the pass interference though. I'm pretty sure you could do that. So it's there. It's definitely there that you can review the tip.
But anyways, besides the point, there should be someone who reviews essentially every play.
Like college.
And like college, it reviews every play no matter what. And then when we get these questionable plays, it's like they can already bust down like, hey, that ball was tipped. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but this is my input. That ball was tipped, and it shouldn't. Whatever you think you're gonna call, you probably should know that the ball. You
already see them sitting there with the headsets on, talking to each other. Like, why isn't there like they have all these alternate officials? You saw like multiple times, like the halftime kickoff thing where they said that the guy didn't give himself up and they scored it, ruled it a touchdown originally. Yeah,
they're like more refs in black shirts than I've ever seen in my life. Like they had homeboy from the sideline. They got a guy from the tunnel coming out from the press box. All kind of guys coming out. And eventually, the White Hat's like, "Okay, I got it. I
guess we messed this up. But
I guess I messed this up.
That rule should. I don't know if that's a rule, but like, don't field the ball in the end. If you field the ball in the end zone, you need to take a knee. Like you can't just give yourself up. Just don't field the ball. If it touches the end zone without you fielding it, it's kicked into the end zone, it's a touchback. Just a simple rule change.
I don't disagree with you there.
So that game was weird. It was ugly. It went to overtime. The Bills managed to tie it back up 19-19. They kind of deserved to be tied the way things ended there. And then it looked like the Bills had something cooking. And then what did we say how this game was going to end? Deshaun Watson was going to pull some rabbit out of his hat, and he pulled the rabbit out of his hat.
He did. Scary guy to play. I'm not excited and thrilled that the Chiefs are playing him next week. But
it's better than the Pats, right?
No,
well, if the Pats had won, you would be saying that, obviously.
That's true. Because it's the Pats, right?
Yeah.
It's just the Pats.
Exactly.
It's one of those things, but I'd much rather be playing Deshaun
no
Watson.
Offense, yeah. I felt bad, though, because the defensive end for Buffalo got too good of a pass rush because they brought the corner blitz, and the corner was smoked Deshaun Watson, but the DN got such a good pass rush, he hit Watson and kept him up and spun him around. Like, if the DN doesn't get a good pass rush there, it's a sack, and the Bills look like they're getting the ball back there. So, a little unfortunate. And then
it is bad, like you said, bad coaching, but Deshaun Watson played it incredible.
Second half. They were good in the second. They were awful in the first half.
Awful in the first half, second half. But like you said, like I know the Chiefs are playing them. See, the thing about Texas, they could get scary or they could be really bad.
They're just awful. They could get run off the field easily.
They can.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Texas team that's going to show up because they could get this Texas team with Will Fuller and the Hopkins and catch everything thrown in the air and those big tight ends, and it's like, oh man.
Here's the point though: Buffalo's might blow a 16-point lead. Pat Mahomes ain't blowing a 16-point lead. Pat
Mahomes might, but Andy Reid will.
No, they're gonna keep scoring. So you won't have to outscore KC a lot more than 16 if they got a 16-point. If KC has a 16-point lead, they're winning that game. Don't worry about it, bud. That game's over.
They're gonna make me sweat though. I know that.
They might make you sweat a little bit, but he's gonna Mahomes. I mean, the Bills scored 3 points the rest of the game, up 16-0. Mahomes was scoring 2 more touchdowns, up with a 16-point lead, and they're gonna make Houston score that. Just score that much more. It's just with that offense, and I don't think Houston's defense is any sort of good. So.
Well, I think old boy dropped the touchdown in the corner to almost seal the.
That's true.
Seal the game.
That's true. He dropped the big third down too. I don't know why they weren't just, dude, they should have thrown every ball to John Brown. He's the only, or Cole Beasley. Yeah, just guys that can catch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Questionable, but also I saw a lot of questionable placing in the ball for the officials.
Oh,
I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, but Jesus.
And then spot, like you saw, I mean, not to go back, the Vikings-Saints game, like on that critical, when you were texting me, that Thielen spot on that critical third down, like he was a yard and a half over that pylon, and the guy put it at the tip of the yard mark.
Barely got it.
He was way over there. It's like, we're in the playoffs, how do we not have an official who literally sits at every goal line to gain? It's like, we both officiated. Have someone sitting at the first down line, watching the line to see if a guy gets the first down or not. Is it really that hard to have one extra official on the line there? Absolutely not. He doesn't have to call fouls. He doesn't have to call anything. Just spot the ball.
I think that's the whole thing with the camera there. The camera on the pylons.
It shouldn't have that though. We're in the playoffs. I know. We saw 14 guys in black jackets come out of the woodwork in Houston.
You're not right. I was like, Jesus, is this security?
Yeah. You're not wrong. It's just like a lazy officiating. Feels like they're just sitting there letting the play happen. They're 3 yards, 4 yards downfield, and then they're stepping up to where they think they got to. It's like, just be proactive. Be right on the play. Follow the play. You know.
One thing that they do this weekend, they let everything go. They just let everybody play everything out. They're like, we're gonna play it out, and then we'll fix it if it's screwed up.
I like it. It's playoff football. Make a play.
Yeah, true. We talk Pats Texans.
Yeah, let's talk the death of a dynasty.
Maybe.
I think
it's maybe
Tennessee, the other 6 seed, walked into Foxborough, smacked them around.
I'm not disagreeing either. Let's real quick for you. I'm gonna answer your death of the dynasty. If Brady comes back, they get one weapon, and N'Keal Harry grows up.
Well, I don't think N'Keal Harry is the issue. I think it's their freaking playbook. Their playbook's the issue. If Mohamed Sanu, who is a smart player, he played quarterback in high school, he learned Kyle Shanahan's offense, was a stud under it, and when he was in Atlanta, which is a complex offense, we can't argue Kyle Shanahan's offense isn't complex, and he can't pick up the New England playbook. He's saying there's too much going on. There's too much going on, man. Come on.
I know, but N'Keal Harry, he dropped some easy ones, though, too.
That's true, but make the life easy on because he's too busy thinking if I'm in the freaking right spot or not. There's 1,000 things going through his mind. Like, simplify it a little bit, guys. Like, there's over the top. There's, like, being clever and creative and deep, and there's excessive. And I think McDaniels kind of flirts with excessive.
I don't know. He's going to get some head coaching.
He is.
But that when he did down the goal line, boy.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Suspect.
Like the Migos said, it was bad. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into this game.
It was good. I mean, it was kind of ugly. It felt like the game was 14-13 for 2.5 hours. Really just like a one-point game most of the time because Tennessee went down the field and scored a touchdown, and then New England came back and responded. And it was kind of really ugly. Derrick Henry just kind of put the team on his back. Tannehill didn't play that good. Kind of threw a horrible interception in that game that kind of felt like, oh, here we go. Here comes New England. Derrick Henry if you lean on Derrick Henry, it seems like he just gets stronger and stronger the later and later the season goes because we ain't seen him really in this kind of capacity in the playoffs yet. And what he run for, like $180?
Yeah, no, he went for $182. Don't try to steal my thunder. You know he's coming later. Don't try to steal my thunder. Yeah.
But good on the Titans. We kind of knew. Mike Vrabel, he trolled Bill Belichick with his own timing rules and ran another 2 minutes off the clock in the fourth quarter by taking penalties.
Then Bill tried to get pissed about it. Like, bro, you know the rules.
You exposed the rule, Bill. You exposed it. They're just going to use it against you, dog. But
you should have came up with a way to hey, this is the way I exposed it, but this is also the way I stop it. So we could call it the Bill Belichick rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
So it was really ugly. Tennessee won. Good on them. Bill Belichick only 14-14 against his former players and assistants as a head coach. So kind of the anti-Saban.
Is it Saban the one who has a ridiculous
record against? He hasn't lost to an assistant yet.
Okay. I thought it was Bill for some reason, and I was like, when I heard this, I was like, dang. Oh well.
No. So yep, they advanced. Now they get their reward as the Ravens on Saturday night, which is good on them. We'll like to see that.
I mean,
it's a good. It's gonna be a short game.
With the running game, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a short game. It's gonna fly by. A lot of the balls put in people's stomachs. But the Texans, the Titans offense. I don't know if
I just don't think the Titans defense. The Titans defense isn't gonna be able to totally stop the Ravens. So? I don't think so. But
because their strength is the back end.
Yeah, it'll be close. Just because it's gonna be a short game. We're gonna get home. It's gonna be a short game. Gotta get home for lunch. Like they said in the Sandlot, it's gonna be quick. Just get it over with.
We could get Lamar. We could get Lamar jitters though. Never know.
Maybe. He played in the playoffs last year.
Okay, you're right.
But they played a home playoff game. But we'll see. But yeah, hopefully they stay hot. And then the last game, Seattle, Philly kind of lost all its steam very early in the game when Carson Wentz went out. Seattle won. Very ugly, typical Seattle fashion. They play every game the exact same way. So if you've ever seen Seattle play, because I don't think they're. So my dad had an interesting point talking about it. It's like they want to play like that. They do these awful run plays. They waste time. Because they know their defense isn't that good, and their defense is not going to hold up in a game if they get into a shootout with somebody. And because if you let Russell be Russell from the start, they might hang 28, 30 points. And that defense is not holding up. Pete knows. He knows they're going to get exposed. And
so They just run the ball on principle.
Yeah, well, they run the ball on principle. They chew clock. They play ugly. Keeps the defense fresh. Makes teams out of their zone. And he knows Russell with the ball at the end of the game is going to do it. Like, he's not worried at all with Russell. He's like, yeah, Russell's going to make every play.
Next weekend, he can't. I've seen it too many times, and I hate it. Dude, just when you let Rodgers, like, look, this is going to happen. He's going to get a call.
He is.
He's going to get a call. Someone's going to make a big play.
It'll be a pass interference or this offsides. Aaron Rodgers is the only person that gets free plays on offsides. Everybody else is blown dead.
Yes, I don't understand why.
Because they're afraid of him.
But anyways, he's going to get a PI, and it's going to be probably for freaking 40 yards.
Yeah, of course.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then after that, he'll throw some we'll throw some amazing dagger. And then that'll be it. That'll be all she wrote. Well, literally, they'll march 60 yards before you know it. You'd be like, "What the hell? What just happened?"
But counterpoint, it's gonna be who gets the ball last, right? Because if it's the same scenario with Russell and the ball, you trust Russell's gonna go get that touchdown.
Yeah, but it's just like one of those things. Like Rodgers done it so many times. It's just you're like it's happening. You're just waiting for it. He did it against the Lions. Literally against the Lions.
Little different teams though. The Lions also shit the bed on offense twice. Seattle ain't shitting the bed on offense.
That's true. I mean, I hope Seattle wins.
Weird fact I heard today. Russell and Rodgers freaking hate each other. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers hates Russell Wilson. Whatever, Doug Gottlieb, who has got the inside, him and Rodgers are boys, kind of. And he's like, yeah, whatever friends are, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson are the opposite of that. Like, Aaron Rodgers hates Russell Wilson. He thinks he's fake, he's corny, and he stole his Super Bowl when they beat him in the NFC Championship game the last time they played in the playoffs. You remember that crazy comeback? So That's
crazy. I feel like I've never heard anybody say they hate
Russell Wilson, right? He's such a nice guy. Right? Like the first thing he said to Doug Peterson after the game is like, "Is Carson okay? Like, how's Carson? Like,
yeah." I mean,
people may not like that because it comes off as fake, but like I think he's just like a genuinely just really nice person.
No, literally, that's my only beef with him is I think he's kind of corny.
But it's like he's corny, but that's not his fault. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
he's a ball. That's a bad man though. I seen that man ball.
That's how nice I would be if I played football. But still, I mean, yeah,
but let's talk about this. Let's talk about the hit on Wentz from Clowney. That was a dirty hit. The more and more I watch it, it was a super dirty hit. I don't know if Clowney's a dirty player. I've heard mixed things, like he's not a dirty guy, he's a dirty guy. I don't really know. That was a super dirty hit on Carson Wentz.
Well, has anybody came out today and say Clowney was a dirty guy?
I mean, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen a few people say that Clowney has a history of doing some suspect things every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see what you mean, but it's the way he went about. I just don't think he actually purposely did it. I think it just.
But it was so unnecessary. What's what we talk about though? It's so unnecessary. Like Wentz is already tackled. Wentz is going to the ground. Clowney goes out of his way to dip low, hit him while he's going low. Like there's no reason for Clowney to dip down and hit him. He's like, you can push him down. You put your hand on him, and he leads with like the crown of his helmet again and hits him in the back of the head. Like he went in like a dead missile. Like. Like I don't know what he was doing. It was not a normal football play. I'll just put it that way.
I won't disagree with you there, but I hate calling guys dirty.
I know, I agree, but it wasn't. It was a dirty hit.
A dirty play. I'll give you that. It's probably a dirty play. I just hate putting a label.
Yeah, we don't have to put a label on it, but you get an eye. We get a little.
Oh, you do get like an asterisk, but like okay, we're watching you now.
Now we're gonna watch, because we said the same thing about Ndamukong Suh when he was like, oh, he's just playing hard or whatever. And then it turned into a thing.
He's probably a little dirty, yeah, for sure.
But Josh McCown, 40 years young, man, first ever playoff snap, and he played okay. He had him in the game.
That's what literally everyone who I talked to today about the game, they're like, you know what, the backup quarterback made it really interesting. And I was like, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I turned it off when I saw Josh, like when I called Wentz was hurt and he wasn't coming back. I was like, this game I tried to watch. I honestly tried to watch the game. I was like, this is I really can't watch it. The Seahawks are running the ball.
Yeah, it was
going
bad.
for like negative 1 yard for 1 yard. I was like, this game's so slow, and then the Eagles were kind of doing the same thing.
It was a lot better in the second half. Things picked up in the second half when they had full install. Like Peterson probably sat down with McCown. Is like, here's what we're doing, X, Y, Z. This is what you're good at. Here's what the looks. So,
and that's at that point I was totally checked out.
Yeah.
So But no, I'm happy for the Seahawks. Sucks for the Eagles. But I think everyone thought this, but the way the game went,
I was a little annoyed. I did pick the Eagles to win this game, and
you did.
I felt good. I don't know if they would have won the game with Wentz, but I think it would have been.
No, but I think that's the consensus is that they probably would have
had a shot. It would have been it would have been very much in the realm of their opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing where everyone's upset is about, like, we were one possession away with our backup quarterback. Like, imagine if we had our starter.
Not only your backup quarterback, your 8th string running back, your 12th string wide receiver. But I heard the story. So when they pulled Wentz to the locker room, I know I texted you about this. They looked him in the medical tent. They took him to the locker room, and they said they had to get security to escort Wentz's wife to the locker room. And I know she had to talk him off the ledge, because that man was probably like, I'm going back out there. F you, F this doctor. For the game I killed myself for, a la Iverson. He killed himself for this game. Wentz going out there, and she was probably like, no, calm down. Like, you're not going back in there. And she talked him off the ledge, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be totally my guess.
But anyway, let's look forward to the divisional round. Saturday, Vikings-Niners first game on docket. And then we got the Titans-Ravens Saturday night. And then Sunday, your Texans and Chiefs game afternoon. And then the Seahawks-Packers, the Sunday night game to close it out, of course. We're picking these games, obviously. We did okay last week picking games. Let's just pick these games right now. First game, Minnesota-San Francisco. San Francisco, 6.5-point favorites. Less favorites than the Saints were. I think we're both going with the Niners, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but 6.5 is so much.
It's just not the touchdown, though.
Yeah, I literally thought about betting on the Vikings. To just go back and thought about betting on the Vikings with -8. I was like, but I don't live in, so I don't have a bookie anyway.
Yeah, we don't have legalized gambling in Texas, please. Legalized sports gambling.
6.5. That's a lot. I get 6.5.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think they might be off a high.
That's what I'm worried about too. Kind of like how they were with New Orleans 2 years ago when they laid an egg in the NFC Championship game, but a little different of a high. It's a high, but not a super high. It wasn't a miraculous win. You just played a football game and won.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna take them 6.5. You taking the same thing?
Yeah, I'll take the same thing. I'm gonna keep betting against my team, and I hope they keep proving me wrong.
There you go. If that's the recipe to get to the Super Bowl, then write it out.
I'm gonna have all of them, dude. I've got every mojo, every thing I gotta break out, all the good juju I need in the universe right now. Okay, and then the Saturday night game, Tennessee-Baltimore, very interesting game. This line is huge, 9 points for the Ravens, their favorite, and I'm going with the Titans. Just because, like we said, it's going to be a short game. They're going to pound the rock. I think the Ravens win this game. I'd be very, very, very surprised if the Titans won this game. But 9 points seems like way too much. I think it's like a touchdown game.
Yeah, 9 points is too much for me. I got the Tennessee too.
All right, easy. All right, then Sunday afternoon, little 2:05 Central Time start. A little awkward timing on Sunday. But they're starting to move the time around.
Is there any reason why literally, is there any reason why?
More prime, I don't know. They're moving prime time more into prime time, so they're both kind of a prime time game, I guess. I don't know.
I see what you mean. Okay.
The timing's getting a little weird right now. But Houston, Kansas City is 9.5-point favorites. This is absurd. This line opened at 7.5, and now it's up to 9.5. All right, who you taking? You taking your Chiefs?
I'm taking Houston. Did they forget who coaches the Chiefs?
Do you know who coaches the Texans?
That's true.
Yeah. I'm going out on a limb here, Terrell. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think they win this game. I like them. I like them a lot in this spot. I think Houston, we won. We won. We came back.
First time they played, they had a lot of people hurt. The Chiefs did, and Texas won. But the Chiefs did lose their starting safety. Rookie. Very good.
I saw that.
It's going to be tough. I mean, that means Dirty Dan's got to play, if you know who that is.
I do not.
Daniel Sorensen.
Oh.
Yeah. He plays. He's been called a dirty player.
Mahomes had to buy last year, looked good last year. Indianapolis came in red hot after smoking this bad Texans team last year, and Kansas City kind of pushed them around again, and they were on super fire. And I think I don't want to get your hopes up and stuff. I don't want to put this negative energy out there. The Chiefs
don't say it.
The Chiefs are sitting right where I like them. I like where they are. They're not getting any everybody was on the Saints, everybody's on the Ravens, the Pack. The Chiefs are just kind of sitting there, man. They had the bye. Nobody's really talking about them. Mahomes is playing good. He's not on this hot streak, like last year, this roller coaster.
Not all pro.
I know. I know. I just kind of love this spot that Kansas City's sitting in. There are no expectations on Kansas City, so that's when they're going to deliver. Because they always don't deliver when there's expectations on that. I'll give you that. They're like the Vikings. When you have expectations, you don't deliver. When there's no expectations, I kind of like this spot for Kansas City. I think they cover, and I like them moving forward maybe too. All right. And then the Sunday night game, Packers-Seahawks. Packers 4-point favorites. I'm going with the Seahawks because every game's been, that's too many points. Like, it's going to be a 3-point or 1-point game. I don't think it could be more than that. It's not possible. And I don't think the Packers wanted to see the Seahawks just the way the Seattle plays. But are you rolling with Russell or are you rolling with Rodgers?
You just convinced me. You just convinced me.
I'm sold him.
The other side. You
I
told
sold
me,
him. All right.
Right then and there.
He's switching. Mark it down, people. I can talk him out of anything. God, you're so easy, Terrell. So you were going with the Packers. Okay, let's just give devil's advocate because you were leaning Packers beforehand. Why did you think the Packers before I just sold you right?
Because Rodgers and Lambeau, just one of those things is I don't know. It just doesn't, if it was me, I wouldn't feel right going in there. Something's not.
I get it. I get it.
Something's not going to go my way. Either the ball's going to bounce, their way, or Rodgers going to get a penalty late. Clowney's going to do that hit, and he's going to
he's getting thrown out of the game. He's getting
thrown out of the game. It's the second play of the game. It's something ridiculous, and it's just
it's a fun time. I'm glad we both got our teams this far. Final 8 teams, and we're both here. And I know you probably expected it to start the season. We probably both expected it, but there was a long and roller coaster road, and hopefully we keep on winning. But
we'd be much happier if both win next week.
Oh my! Yes, then we'd be sweating it. We'd be sweating next weekend. Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of the coaching hires though, because we had Black Monday. It was very uneventful. We kind of, there wasn't really too much turnover there. We got Ron Rivera in Washington. That was kind of rumored beforehand. I like that hire. Do you like that hire?
I do. I like anybody who's going to hire Ron Rivera. I love that hire.
I know you're a big Riverboat Ron guy. The one that was breaking, Monday morning this morning, Mike McCarthy to the Dallas Cowboys. Very underwhelming hire.
Yeah, that's what I woke up to, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, very. I feel like that's what every Cowboy fan said. It's like Jason Garrett 2.0, but toughness and football.
Did I text you that?
No.
I literally said that to my,
yeah,
okay,
did you? Yeah, I think you said Jason Garrett 2.0.
Okay.
And I was like, very underwhelming. And, our buddy Riley agreed. And I text Matt, too, and Matt was like, yeah, okay. I'm not mad. I'm not happy, but I'm not mad with the hire.
We'll see. Maybe he took a year off, rejuvenated himself, and he, got to be a better person. But,
yeah.
I don't know. He's still like a kind of a pushover in the same sense that kind of.
Yeah, but maybe, who knows? Rodgers is, like I've said, he's a lot to deal with. His own family hates him.
Maybe Rodgers. I will not, for some reason, I will not bring myself to think he's actual dick. Everybody that I have ever encountered has said he is an actual dick. Except Danica Patrick, but I haven't encountered her.
Yeah.
So
she seems that way too, though. She seems like that very aggressive type A personality.
Maybe I should go try to DM Olivia Munn and see if she's really a dick.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, you just get on that, Terrell. You let us know how that works.
I will report back next week to let you know how that works.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to that. But Dak is definitely not a dick. He's the opposite. He's like Russell. So he definitely seems like a guy you can coach. So hopefully. I feel like it's the other guys around there. Hopefully, we'll see how it works. But other than that, is there any other? Nobody else has hired anybody yet, right? It's just those two. Last minute update. Matt Rule just hired by the Carolina Panthers this morning. Kind of surprising, right, Terrell? We all kind of thought he was going to the Giants.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was either the Giants or he was going back to Baylor. I didn't see the Carolina Panthers being in the picture at all. I honestly didn't even see whispers of him even interviewing with them.
Yeah, I know.
I thought he kind of cut it down to just the Giants, or he'd go back to Baylor. But no, it's exciting for him. Everyone says he is one of those guys you want to have as your head coach. What I heard about him, he is he doesn't think he's hot shit, and he doesn't treat players like they're hot shit. He's brutally honest. So that's why a lot of people like him. So it'll be exciting to see. He's got he's going to step in a tough situation to deal with already. Going to figure out what he wants to do with the quarterback position. but he does have some good pieces there to start with.
He does.
So
McCaffrey is not a bad piece ever.
Yeah, McCaffrey's not a bad piece.
Typical Giants, it feels like they let their plans know that they wanted Matt Rule as their guy, and he kind of got away from them. So maybe speaks to more the ineptitude of the Giants than anything about this. But I like the hire. We'll see. It's always, new NFL guys. You never really know.
I like Josh McDaniels for the Giants now.
That's a good fit.
I think he'll be good for Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe, what about Bill Belichick? That's also another rumor that he might be taking that. Like, that's one of the jobs he would consider taking if he were to leave New England. Yeah, because he's a big Giants guy with him and Parcells.
Is that why he threw those 2 Super Bowls to the Giants?
Yeah, that's that's exactly why. It was all a subtle take.
Also, I saw this about the Redskins. I don't know if I love this approach. They're gonna hire a GM after the draft.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate it? Why?
Oh, because you let Rivera assemble the roster, and then the GM's going to know what he has for the season. And then he can be like, okay, here's my coach, here's the team I'm taking in, here's what I have to work with. And then you're not even responsible for, next year's team as a GM.
I know. It's just a weird deal. It's like, well, I didn't really draft these guys and this and that.
But you're going to go in, but you're taking that position as a GM is like, okay, that's, this is a team I'm good with. Like, I'm good with this roster. I'm set on my quarterback, whatever they decide to do. I'm assuming they're going to roll with Dwayne Haskins still. But, I like what they're doing. I like what Ron Rivera's doing. So.
I mean, okay. I see both sides. I like to be able to, one, have the coach and GM. There's so much time into the draft to mesh, figure out who they really want, talk about it. If they both don't like a person, then really hash it out, figure it out. I just think as a GM, it's kind of a weird spot to come
I think
in.
that was kind of part of Ron Rivera's deal, though. He wanted
full control.
He wanted a lot. I don't want to say full, but he wanted a lot because he didn't really have that in Carolina. And, we saw, there was some turnover there with the GM spot, even when they were winning 15 games a year.
Okay. You think he brings Cam to Carolina if things don't work out? And brings Cam to Washington.
I don't know what's going on. We have so much quarterback stuff to talk about. It's going to be a fun offseason. We talk about, football season ends, and then we're going to have plenty of basketball, but we're going to have plenty of stuff to talk about this offseason about football because there's quarterbacks going everywhere, draft, all that stuff.
Andy Dalton could definitely be a quarterback that's on the
Andy Dalton to the New England Patriots, because what says F you more than winning with Andy Dalton? That's a Bill Belichick move if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
There's a lot. Tom Brady to L.A. Just all that stuff.
Is that the real buzz?
That's what the buzz is today, but we'll see. I mean, you're gonna have to play it by ear.
Where's Rivers gonna go?
Unemployed because he's bad.
Is his contract up?
I don't know. Maybe he's just old and throws interceptions. He's not very good.
That's weird. I don't know if the Chargers are on that bandwagon. They might talk their
stuff. You need to sell tickets. They need to sell tickets.
Is that and that's what everyone's saying. They need to sell tickets. They're gonna get Tom Brady.
Yeah, apparently they haven't sold a single PSL. Like they haven't sold a single seat license for the new stadium for Charger games.
I'll buy some.
Yeah, you gonna spend $20,000 on that?
Shoot.
Yeah.
You want to split the tickets, bro?
Yeah, no. To watch that? God, no. We live in LA? Hell no.
We wouldn't live there.
We're gonna sell. You can't even sell the tickets. You can't even sell the damn tickets. Nobody wants to see that. What kind of investment? What is the investment plans, Terrell?
You're right. We'll wait till they strike gold. We'll sit on them.
Always a long-term thing. It's big.
It's a long-term.
They're gonna be out of. Yeah, they're gonna be out of LA. We'll be sitting on this long-term plan. They're gonna be moving, back to San Diego before we know it.
Then we just get screwed. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
All right. So let's talk about finally the last thing. Monday night coming up. Finally, the national championship game is finally gonna happen. This is our last game we're picking. We've kind of already talked about it. Let's go. LSU's 5.5-point favorites. I'm going with Clemson. I like LSU to win the game. I think it's a knockout slugfest, typical game. I think LSU just edges out Clemson, but by the thinnest of margins. And if they don't, they're one of the greatest teams of all time, LSU. What about you?
I'm with you. I got LSU. I just can't believe I'm going against Dabo.
I know,
like Dabo. Right? I like everything he does. Everything his assistants does. Everything his coaches do.
LSU just feels magical, don't they? Though it's a magical.
It just
year.
feels like LSU's year.
Yep.
Like it feels like Edo's year. It just everything. I'm going to LSU. It just feels like their year, their time. Like they've been like people in LSU, Baton Rouge, been waiting for this. This is what Les Miles should have been doing every other year. Yeah, it just feels like their year. So I'm going with them. I do want to make this note though.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people go after, and maybe people do go after Dabo's assistants. I don't know about it. I feel like a lot of people
don't leave though. They never leave.
Yeah,
Brent Venables never leaves. Has never.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like a lot of people go after Nick Saban's assistant because Alabama's great and he does this great thing. But like people should be trying to poach Dabo's guys. Like not only does he like have great guys in college, but they go to the next level and they succeed. Like,
I think Dabo's got guys that want to stay as coordinators and not be head coaches, and it's the perfect matchup. And they pay him super well. They pay him like head coaches almost, for bad schools that they could be going to. And
that's true.
And they keep winning, and it's easy. Like right, that's what makes Saban that much better than pretty much everybody because he does it every year with a new assistant. It seems like at both positions, offense and defense. Dabo hasn't really been tested. Let's see what he has to do if he doesn't have Brent Venables at DC.
But I mean, doesn't that make you a good coach to have someone like that though? But
let's see if he can keep doing it. Like Nick Saban seems to always do it. He just has.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, like it'll push you to the next level. Like, but we're talking all-time great stuff here. Dabo's on the path, but I'd like to see Dabo do that.
What is this? So I guess we should mention that. What does this do for Dabo's legacy if he wins this game?
He's pretty good. I mean, we're talking big time because he's a young man. Dabo's a young man still, and we're talking big time. He built a powerhouse down there.
And he's still got to go over and take over for Saban eventually.
Yeah, right. He's got to go take over his alma mater, right? He's got to let Bama get back. When Saban retires, he got to let Bama go slide a little bit, and then he comes back and builds it back up, right?
Yeah, but I think he just re-signed for like a ridiculous deal, and literally in his contract,
dude, it's only money. It's only money.
Yeah,
I'm sure Alabama ain't sweating for money if they want to pay Dabo. I'm sure I guess the
only assistant, I know of that's left is Chad Morris, and look at the circus he's been on. His son was committed to Arkansas and decommitted, had to reopen his recruitment because his dad was no longer the coach there. But he's going to Oklahoma now. But I think Chad Morris got a job actually at Auburn.
He did. Chad Morris did want to. His son did. I mean, Tom Herman wanted him suspended because he threw the horns down at the All-American game when he committed to OU.
Wanted suspended for what?
For throwing the horns down.
The first game, he wanted suspended.
Yep, he wants suspended. Yep, he wants him reprimanded. Tom Herman cried about it. I saw it.
Really? No, did he really come out and say he wanted suspended?
I don't know, man. I just heard it. I don't know if it was true or not.
Shut up, Peter. Oh, my gosh.
All right, Terrell, who balled out for you this week?
Baller of the week for me is Derrick Henry. We all know what he did against the Patriots, but I'm going to give you the stat line. He had 34 carries for 182 yards, 5 yards per carry. That's ridiculous. 1 touchdown, but he also had 1 reception for 22 yards, which is very critical, which set up his touchdown, which I think kind of swung the game. Yeah, baller. I'm glad the Chiefs aren't playing him this week because he looked like he gave the Patriots everything they can handle and more. Literally was getting like 6 to 5 yards a carry, which is ridiculous. And he's 6'2", so when he falls forward, it's like another yard.
He's like, he's 6'2", not a running back size for people that don't know. That's about that's about 5-6 inches taller than most running backs. So he's a freak. And I think that was the most rushing yards Bill Belichick's given up as a New England Patriot head coach. They said so, even more. All right.
Also, real quick, I know you're getting Doghouse, but we got Jalen Hurts sighting. He will be at the Senior Bowl. So that means we'll have another Jalen Hurts stat line.
You're so bad.
We'll have Jalen Hurts again. Let's go, people. Before he goes to the combine, we'll get another Jalen Hurts sighting.
Oh my God.
I'm excited about this. I'll have a Senior Bowl on at work watching this Jalen Hurts workout because right now his draft stock isn't great, but he needs to improve it. So, Doghouse.
He could be like Taysom Hill was for say. So Doghouse of the week, playing on that.
He doesn't run a 4.4, so I don't think so. But yeah, he maybe.
Sean Payton. Offensive genius, my guy. Not really. I hate your smug ass. Horrible. 10 points and a half. You're averaging 40 points a game over the last 6 games. 10 points against this bleeding Minnesota Vikings secondary. We're down 2 cornerbacks. Xavier Rhodes blew out his shoulder, basically. It looked like halfway through the second half, and you still couldn't throw the ball. Michael Thomas, elite catcher, 70 yards, broke all these records. Drew Brees, all-time touchdown leader, couldn't do anything. Taysom Hill, good on you. You played a great game. So, yeah, New Orleans Saints, 13-3, first 13-3 team to lose in the wild card round. All in doghouse, but to my benefit.
Yeah, you came out a winner on this one. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Kirk Cousins also sniffing his way maybe out of the doghouse real soon.
Can you give us a you like it at the end of the podcast?
Oh wait, you want me to give you a real one?
Okay, yeah.
You want to give me? I just got 3 words for you, Terrell. You like that? All right, we'll see you all next week, everybody.